Clayton. How are you too?
Hey, good evening.
Good evening. So I see we have a handful of people on here. So like I told the Teachers Day, it's such a busy night. And so we appreciate anybody who could take the time to be with us tonight. And so thank you so much. And so we're going to be recording this and we will send this out to all the parents again at Mills Middle or Mills High who ever needs to see this so they can get all the information they need to be educated about the Driven program. And so I just wanted to welcome you this evening. My name is Rachel Blackwell, and I am the digital learning facilitator, and I help oversee the Driven School of Opportunity at Mills High School and the other two campuses that also have something like this. And so we are very excited about this. So first thing I do want to show you though is on our district website, our PCSSD district website, you can always find more information about this. It's under the Explore tab here on the left. And it's down here in one of the big rocks. We have Avid, PBS, and Driven. And so you're going to hear a lot more about Driven over the next few months because we've kind of, we have an umbrella of Driven. It's a two-part innovative model in our district. And we've had our Schools of Opportunity. Next year will be our fourth year for that. But we also have a new experience with Driven, which will be our virtual academy opening up in the 21-22 school year. So on here, you can see kind of the difference about our innovative models. You can read about that here. And there's more information about the Driven School of Opportunity, as well as a place where you can find the applications for Mills High School right here. And Ms. Jenkins is the point of contact for that. And so she is available. That's her email address. And you can just click on this to help fill out the application. So we'll talk about that a little bit more. But I want to start off by showing some of the amazing students at Mills High School. And maybe some of you have already seen this video, and so, but I definitely want to share it and how amazing the students are.
Mills High Driven is unique.
Unique because you can learn at your own pace and receive one-on-one instruction.
Unique because you can earn both high school and college credits in 1 year.
Unique because it blends in-person and online learning that reflects our needs.
Unique because we have a mentor teacher who guides us through our high school career.
Unique because it prepares us for college and career while gaining flexibility for extracurricular activities.
Unique because it's full of innovation.
Sprayers will do that. So welcome tonight, everybody. And we're so excited, like I said. On here as well as Mr. Clayton, the principal at Mills High School, as well as Mr. Montgomery, one of the English teachers. And I keep looking over here, I have another screen, and Mr. Hamblick, the math teacher over the Driven. So they're going to pick up in different spots. Mr. Clayton, would you like to say anything real fast before we get started?
Yes, good evening. We are so excited that the parents would entrust their students with us. And we have a great team of teachers who work, as the students have stated, one-on-one in small groups and really mentor students to where they become self-efficacious, to where they take ownership of their own learning. So they've done an outstanding job with that. Excited about new staff, Mr. Hamblick. And so parents, this is something you will not regret if you allow your student this opportunity.
Yes, I love it. So I'm just going over this first page here. So what is Driven? So Driven is a program that is approved by the Department of Education here, and it is offered at 3 of our campuses at PCSSD, and Mills is one of those, and this is its 3rd year of the program. So Driven is a blended learning program. So you have your 4 core classes, your math, your science, your English, and your history, and those are taught where it's an online program, but you have a certified teacher there helping you, guide you through your learning. And you heard some of the things that were unique, and the other 2 teachers here are also going to speak to those a little bit. But it blends the online, so the kids have the whole semester laid out in front of them on day 1 and guides them through that semester. That learning gives them the opportunity to come back and relearn things that they needed, and then also able to help them just to make sure that they have their whole 4 years of high school laid out and really guide them through that learning, which is the great part of it. So I'm going to pass this over to Mr. Montgomery, and he's going to talk about some of those features that we talked about in the video, the students talked about, as why it's unique, and kind of go in more depth on those.
Okay, thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Ms. Blackwell, for just doing so much with the Driven program and leading this program. As she said, my name is Mr. Montgomery. I'm an English instructor here in the Driven program. I'm very excited about it. One of my biggest buzzwords I use for Driven is an opportunity. It's an opportunity for students to have a unique experience. And I say unique because, as Rachel alluded to a moment ago, it allows the students to take control of their own learning, and they can do that at their own pace. And although it is at their own pace, because it is a platform that, as she said, is blended, where it's a computer based. So they're interacting with a teacher as well as with a computer. And so that pace is moving forward, and it's perfect for your students who may be what we would call self-driven. So they're that student who can come in, take ownership of their learning, get that idea and say, here's all the work that I have to do from January all the way to June. And so now they're moving forward. There's a little catchphrase that we've come up with. It says this: 30 minutes per day will keep you up to pace. And so when they're working and they're doing that 30 minutes per day, constructively working, answering questions, now they're staying up the pace and they're moving right along. So one thing that's unique is the pacing. The other thing that is unique is they have opportunities to have a mentor teacher. So what does that mean? Just like you saw in the video, that was Miss Jenkins. She's our social studies, histories type of coursework, economics, things like that she's working on. Now, when you have a mentor teacher, that means that we're not just teaching your student the content, we're also working with them on that relationship to help them where they may be needing motivation. They may need to refer to some one-on-one time for coaching on something to help them keep up with that pace. So the relationship is there, and it also pushes them toward, okay, you're getting ready to finish high school. What's that next step? College, trade school, things of that nature. So they have the mentor coach. That's another thing that makes it unique. And I guess the last thing about it is that, even in the times that we're in right now, this type of education is becoming more and more popular, and we have the perfect platform for it. And we have a great team that's here that allows for them to not miss a beat. They can keep going, and it's seamless. The tempo is there, the grading is there, and many of the students are being able to get ahead and even graduate a little bit earlier than scheduled. But as I talk about the team, I'm going to pass it back to Rachel, Ms. Blackwell, and she's going to allow us to segue through the remainder of this presentation.
Yeah, I think definitely some of those highlighted points that you just talked about are so important. You do have several students this year who are virtual, who are doing this program. And even last year when we had a pivot, all of a sudden those kids were already like, here's my semester. They were there, they were ready to do the work. And so they really did not miss a beat, which I love about that. It's already set up. So you have some in person, you have some who are coming virtual this year due to the COVID. But I really do love the mentor teachers. And something also to think about is like, they get the same core teachers for all 4 years or for all their subjects, unless they decide to go out for AP classes. That is the little caveat there that make sure. So if your student wants to take AP, that's absolutely okay. And they will go out to the AP teacher in the school, but it just gives them some consistency in their high school, which is very nice. So Mr. Hamlock is going to talk about a few other things. We switch slides here that are super important to have for your driven program.
Thanks, Rachel. You stole the first thing I was going to lead off with, which just the fact that we have that if they come in as freshmen, we have that 4-year relationship with them. So kids come in, they already know what to expect. We already know what to expect from them, kind of what each individual student needs. I would say if you are considering it for your student, a couple of things. We do definitely have, I think, in our group of driven students, they have a particular attitude that helps them to be successful. One is that they want to be more in charge of their education. And, we talk about this pace. We do say that it's self-paced, but that's not to say you do work when you want to do work. That's to say there's a minimum you can do, but by all means exceed that, go beyond. We do say about 30 minutes a day, but there are definitely kids, and it's one of those things I wish I could show you some data. I've got an 11th grader she's started in about a quarter of the way through her senior math. I know that's the case across all of our classes. We've got students who are just really ambitious. who are either looking to graduate early. Some of them want to just get extra coursework in. And so I would say if they're motivated and self-disciplined, that's really a formula for success in the Driven program. It does take a lot of work, but I see it as normal. I think about my own high school experience. There was class and then a lot of other stuff, and then homework and then a lot of other stuff, and then class again, just a lot of filler. This is just a way to compress it, really get where you're just working on that work consistently. And I think if that's something that your student's looking for, then Driven's a really good fit for them, because it just gives them a huge opportunity to, again, work at their own pace, finish early, have a long-term relationship with like our Driven teacher team. So I can't say enough good things about it.
I mean, to steal your thunder there, but yeah, absolutely. There is so many amazing things about it. And I did want to point out, they are talking about like setting your own pace. And sometimes you're coming in, you're like, my student is an 8th grader coming into 9th grade. They don't know exactly what to do. I think one thing that they have accomplished is, or have realized with the students, is really helping them to find that motivation also, and helping them figure out to be able to set that, and having older students in the program with it, they kind of jump in and get that early, that whole idea of making sure you're on pace, and they have a lot of mentors within the program already, which is kind of a great thing. So sometimes I'm thinking, oh, you're coming as 9th graders, you might not automatically have that intuition to like just get on and get started, but I think you have so much support around you that it makes a great part of it. And so definitely the future of the program is you and your students, and we look forward to answering any questions you have. If there's anything that you want to put in the chat as well, I'm trying to make sure there's nothing in there. You can ask any questions you want, and I'll also show you again the email address. So there is a place that you can apply. So this application is just so that the teachers know and the counselors know that this is definitely something that you want. It has a bit.ly. This bit.ly has been sent, I believe, if it's not, have already been sent to your text message or to your emails about the program tonight. We'll make sure in this follow-up, because we're going to make sure to send this whole presentation to all the students or all the parents tomorrow, along with the application link. Your amazing students have already had a presentation by Miss Jenkins last Wednesday. So she was able to answer some questions that was really great for them. And so if there's any other questions you have, though, I'll definitely put that information back out of how to reach out. Any kind of closing comments from Mr. Montgomery, Mr. Clayton?
We just had one question in the chat, Rachel. It just said, can it be virtual? From looks like that was Patrice Daniel. I said, yes, it can. Would you like to address that a little bit more?
Yeah, absolutely. So there are students this semester with everything that the virtual learning, it's been great. It's been a great fit for that. So yes, so they're still going to offer virtual learning next year. And so that's definitely an opportunity you would have with the Driven School of Opportunity as well. So good question there. And the council would definitely help you set out those freshman classes and where you need to be placed. And so that way you get signed up for the appropriate class as well.
Mm-hmm. And also for that parent or guardian, one of the things I strive to do is make the experience warm and an atmosphere welcoming for virtual students who aren't able to be in the building. So we have physical students that are also connected with the virtual, and we're all inside the Google Meet or all inside the Zoom. So all the instruction is happening in real time, even though your child may be at home. So we're very aware that that's an option that some choose. Just wanted to add that note on there. Back to you, Rachel.
Yeah, that's such a good point, because the relationships, sometimes that's a hard thing with virtual, is let's build those relationships. So they're definitely there to do that as well. So just a reminder, when you go to the district website, you can go under Explore, and it's down here under the Driven website. And then from there, you can do your application for the Driven School of Opportunity. And you can see here that there's the Mills, go straight to the Mills application as well. So we will send all the information to you and via text and email tomorrow. And if you have anything else after you get that, feel free. We'll make sure and put all the contact information in that email. So if you have any other questions that you need to follow up with, we'll definitely get those answered. Yeah.
You see that? I think there's another question from, it says, is there an application deadline? And I think Mr. Clayton has some closing remarks as well.
Perfect. Go ahead, Mr. Clayton. You can talk about the deadline as well.
Yes. So one of the things that we're doing families is we're trying to get registration underway, all of the recruitment for different programs, different courses that students want to have, because we have a deadline to get allocations into our central office, which is all about staffing. So our deadline will be in the next few weeks, and this will be for the 2021-2022 school year. And I just want to reiterate some things that Mr. Montgomery had stated and some others have stated. When we did pivot last March, it was almost a seamless process for students because they've been using an LMS, which was a digital platform anyway. So that's been unique for our students. And I think because it's been so difficult, our students have done very well because of the support they've been receiving anyway, being in the Driven School of Opportunity for about 2 to 3 years now. So that's been quite unique for us. And if you have questions, even after this, reach out to us. These teachers are excellent. Miss Rachel Blackwell, our support person from Central Office. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us.
That is so true. We're always here to answer questions. So thank you so much for your night. We wanted to keep it short and sweet because we know you have lots to get back to. So thank you so much. And we look forward to serving your students next year.